Alright, we are here to talk about this new patch. I had a quick overview of it. Seems pretty good. But we're going to go through it right now and give you my thoughts on it. So it looks like there's going to be another minion tribe coming. Quillboar. We know not much of it yet. More will be coming out in April, but it is good that Blizzard keep introducing new things and stuff like that to Battlegrounds. It is making it like it's showing us that they are not going to let it die off or go stale and stuff like that. So even if they get it wrong, it's still really, really good. And then fix mistakes, etc., by nerfing and buffing. So it is really exciting to see what is coming. Darkmoon prizes have now gone, which I think needed to be done a long time ago. They were fun while it lasted, but they were creating some pretty epic games out of nowhere and high roll games. Here's an interesting update. Instead of checking for triples after each minion is summoned, all minions will now summon first before any triples are generated. Basically, I believe what this is saying is, or for instance sakes, for the brand Khadgar transitioning and stuff like that, you're no longer going to be able to have 11 triples in a turn and shit like that. So it looks like with brand Khadgar, 1 triple per token is what it looks like it's going to be. All the tokens need to summon and then you get your triple. So the triple won't happen and then more tokens will summon after that to create more triples. So yeah, once your triple happens, it's the end of the action. So listen, I actually think this is a good change. No, I'm not saying that brand Khadgar and transitioning and stuff wasn't cool. It was fun, but I think someone brand doing that transition on turn 7 is just like auto win the game as well. Like they just blow out the lobby. I think you want the lobby to be more balanced, and you want to have that the transition still exists, but you get it with 3 or 4 triples, which doesn't blow out your turn. So I do think it's a lot better that way. But yeah, it'd be real interesting to see and whether that will happen and whether it comes up, we give it a go and whatnot. So I'm sure we will attempt it and see what comes from it. Captain Hooktusk is gone, which is real good. That needed to be gone as soon as they nerfed it. I think the hero was already really pretty bad. They could probably do with getting rid of a couple more heroes, but one at a time. Yasage has been buffed. So instead of hero powering, adding a minion from your tavern tier to your warband and keeping it, it's now, I believe as it's red, it's going to add it to the warband for your fight, and then add a copy of it to your hand. Will it stay on your board after the fight? I'm not sure. It doesn't really say that anymore. It doesn't say to keep it. It just says summon a minion from your tavern tier. So maybe it summons for the fight and then adds a copy to your hand. Not sure, so we'll see how that interaction works. Maybe some of you have encountered it already. But I do believe that's how it's going to work. Elise has now gone back to 3 gold instead of 2. I would dare say it's gone back to being an average hero. The difference between 2 and 3 is so huge. 2 is overpowered, 3 is probably slightly below average, honestly. So there was no balance for this, whether you could go like a normal hero. I think 3 is going to make it too weak to pick, honestly. So I guess we are going to see. We will probably still attempt to play Elise and see what it's like, but it will be a lot worse for sure. King Mukla has been buffed again. Now, we have been memeing some King Mukla games and winning with them. I'm very, very curious to see the stats on Mukla now with another buff. I honestly think that this hero is going to start being average to just above average. I think it has a possibility to become a tier... I'm not going to say tier 2, but definitely a tier 3 hero without a doubt. I definitely think it could be close to a tier 2 hero though, if played correctly. So I definitely think Mukla's going to see some play, and I'm definitely going to experiment a lot with that. Akazam Zarak has now been nerfed. That Ice Block can only be discovered once per game. I think it's completely fair and had to be done. I think Ice Block should only be ever given to one person once per game. I think any more times is just not fair. So also makes the games really lengthy and stuff. So this is a real good nerf. Elistra's been removed, which I think needed to be done as well. It was affecting gameplay too much. The card was really overpowered. The fact it could control so much of a battle just made the card have to go. So now it looks like we're back to normal attacks and stuff like that, which is, I think, really healthy for the game. Rabid Sorrelisk has actually gained a really good buff here. Listen, from a 4/2 gaining 1/1 to a 3/2 gaining 1+1/+2 is a huge difference, and I actually think this card might see gameplay now. I don't think it'll see late gameplay maybe, but definitely early gameplay. Like it's this with like 2 death rattles is the nuts. Like it becomes like a 5/6, like really fast. Like it's really good for tier 2. So and there's a fair few death rattles between tier 1 and 2 as well, so it's not hard to do. But I definitely think it's a vast improvement to this card. Wax Rider Todd Woggle. Listen, this card was, in my eyes, only ever playable with Ysera anyway. And I actually think it's a good tier 2 drop, tier 2 minion for Ysera. And I think it carries Ysera a long way. Apart from that, it's not really a card for, like, unless you really have a Dragon comp early that's given to you. But that being said, it was already strong enough for Ysera at 1/2. 1/3 is just going to make it better. So I don't think... This is not going to change the game all that much. It just makes Ysera a lot stronger, I think. And that's if you find it on tier 2. Yoho Ogre with the 1 extra health on the Ogre. Listen, it's whatever. It's not that much of a difference. It makes a bit of a difference considering it attacks, but it's still not that big of a deal. But yeah, I think it's a decent buff. That's fine. Molten Rock buff is pretty cool. It does make this minion actually pretty good now on tier 2. Considering you buy it with 1 elemental, it's a 2/5, so it's pretty good. Yeah, I think this is fine, this buff. This is where Arm of the Empire comes in with these taunt cards gaining health. Whenever a friendly taunt minion's attack, give it 3 attack. So that was for the battle only. Now it's whenever it's attacked, give it 2 attack, but permanently. So for stuff like Molten Rock and Yoho Ogre is not as much, but stuff that gains health on its taunts, like even for Gar later, this card is huge. Like really, I would consider it almost broken to the fact of it's going to make taunt comps really strong. The fact that it's going to leave it there permanently is actually crazy in my eyes. I'm actually not sure about this and whether it's going to break the game early. But I guess we're going to see. But I do think this has now become an overpowered 3-drop. So I guess we're going to see as the time goes on. Also, Champion Isage getting buffed with an extra 2/2 in stats. Same ability though. It does look like that Blizzard's trying to make a taunt comp a thing now. Taunt comp was one of the weakest comps. It's now probably not going to be the weakest. It seems like it's going to be actually a lot stronger now. So yeah, I guess we're going to see. Junkbot. The unplayable 5-drop has now moved to the unplayable 4-drop. I still think this card's garbage, and I still think this card needs to go. If anyone can make a comp work with the Junkbot at tier 4, please feel free to post it and let me know. But I do not think there's any comps that see Junkbot being played. Kangas. This is actually, listen, it's been buffed for stats. I think it's good in a way that probably stops a lot of the zap snipes now, and just probably makes it die in a better order now as well, which is good. It's not a card you play all that much, but now it's a lot. You feel a lot safer with it as a 4/8, considering you can't really buff its stats. So, yeah, that's a pretty decent buff as well. But yeah, I mean, this is where Battlegrounds is headed. It does look very taunt orientated all of a sudden, and a couple of good things have come about now with the changes. So I'm very excited. We'll be in amongst it all throughout the week, getting a grip on this new meta and seeing how much has changed. But I do think the high rolling stuff will be a lot less worse than what it was. And yeah, I think we should see some really good gameplay. So yeah, I'd be keen to hear your thoughts, guys. So don't forget to leave a comment on the YouTube vid, and feel free to join us at the stream. Don't forget to click that follow button and keep in up to date with us. And yeah, come say hello, and we'll check you out when you're there. Take care, and